In the world of acting, you can spend years chasing a dream, waiting for your big break. But for a lucky few, everything changes in a single moment, a single role. They were once unknown faces, and then one performance turned them into legends. Today, we reveal the untold, emotional journeys of the actors who got famous after one role only. And number 5 will truly surprise Daniel Radcliffe. Harry Potter. Born on July 23, 1989, in London, Daniel Radcliffe was just a boy with a dream far bigger than himself. As a child, he loved storytelling and often imagined living in magical worlds. At only 11 years old, he stepped into the shoes of Harry Potter, a role that would forever change the course of his life. Surprisingly, Daniel wasn't the first choice for the role. Several other boys were considered before casting directors saw his shy smile and sparkling eyes. They instantly knew he was the boy who could bring Harry to life. When Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone hit theaters in 2001, Daniel went from an ordinary schoolboy to one of the most recognized faces on the planet. Children saw him as a hero, and adults admired his sincerity and charm. Over the next decade, he grew up on screen, taking Harry from a timid boy to a brave young man who faced unimaginable challenges. Fans didn't just watch Harry, they watched Daniel grow, laugh, struggle, and succeed. The bond between Daniel and the role was so strong that it became hard for audiences to separate the two. Even though he went on to explore stage acting and other film projects, for millions of people across the globe, he will forever remain the boy who lived. His journey reminds us that sometimes a single opportunity taken at the right time can create a legacy that lives on for generations. Matthew McConaughey, Dazed and Confused. Born on November 4, 1969, in Texas, Matthew McConaughey never dreamed he'd one day be one of Hollywood's most beloved stars. As a college student studying film, he lived a simple life, far away from the glamour of Hollywood. His big break came almost by accident, when he was offered a small role in Dazed and Confused, 1993. Playing the effortlessly cool David Wooderson, McConaughey brought a mix of charm, swagger, and humor that audiences instantly connected with. With his now famous line, "All right, all right, all right," he created one of the most iconic catchphrases in movie history, one that still follows him to this day. At the time, he wasn't chasing fame or fortune, he was simply enjoying the opportunity to be part of something fun. Yet his natural charisma made him unforgettable, and Hollywood began to take notice. That one small role became the doorway to a career filled with critically acclaimed performances, from romantic comedies to deeply emotional dramas. Years later, he would win an Oscar, but fans still remember him first as the laid-back Wooderson who stole the show. McConaughey's journey is proof that sometimes, life changes in the blink of an eye, and that even the smallest roles can leave the biggest mark. His story teaches us that opportunity often appears when you least expect it, and if you embrace it, it can shape your destiny forever. 3. Jennifer Lawrence, Winter's Bone. Born on August 15, 1990 in Louisville, Kentucky, Jennifer Lawrence grew up far from the glitz and glamour of Hollywood. She had always been a fearless and determined young woman, but the world didn't yet know her name. That changed when, at just 20 years old, she took on the challenging role of Ree Dolly in Winter's Bone 2010. The film told the gritty story of a teenage girl struggling to find her missing father in the harsh, unforgiving Ozark Mountains. It wasn't a glamorous role, it was raw, emotional, and brutally real. Jennifer poured her heart into the character, bringing a quiet strength and vulnerability that touched audiences deeply. Her performance was so powerful that it earned her an Academy Award nomination, instantly putting her in the spotlight. Before this, she had only landed small TV roles and minor parts in films, but nothing compared to the storm of attention this role would bring. Overnight, she became one of Hollywood's most sought-after young stars. Directors admired her fearlessness, critics praised her authenticity, and audiences loved her natural charm. Winter's Bone wasn't just a career boost, it was the foundation for everything that followed. From there, she went on to conquer the world as Katniss Everdeen in The Hunger Games. But for those who watched closely, Ree Dolly will always be the role that proved Jennifer Lawrence was born to be a star. Her story reminds us that sometimes the most unglamorous roles can reveal the brightest talents. 4. Lupita Nyong'o, 12 Years a Slave. Born on March 4, 1983 in Mexico City to Kenyan parents, Lupita Nyong'o carried dreams far greater than the world could see. She grew up moving between Mexico and Kenya, with a deep love for storytelling and the arts. Her journey into acting was not instant. She studied hard, trained at Yale School of Drama, and worked behind the camera before stepping into the spotlight. Then came 12 Years a Slave, 2013, the role that would change her life forever. Lupita played Patsy, an enslaved woman who endured unimaginable cruelty, but still carried an inner light of dignity and hope. Her performance was hauntingly real, breaking hearts and moving audiences to tears. Every glance, every word, every painful moment she portrayed felt deeply human. Before this, she was virtually unknown in the film industry. But that one role didn't just introduce her. It announced her arrival as a force of nature in acting. Her emotional depth and authenticity earned her the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress, making history as one of the few actors to win an Oscar for their debut film role. Overnight, she became a symbol of hope and inspiration for aspiring actors around the world. Lupita didn't just play Patsy, she lived her, and in doing so, she proved that one role played with truth and courage can echo for generations. Her story is proof that when preparation meets opportunity, magic happens. Dev Patel, Slumdog Millionaire. Born on April 23, 1990 in London, Dev Patel was just a regular teenager with big dreams and no idea how close he was to his big break. He was still in school when fate stepped in. With no formal film experience, he auditioned for Slumdog Millionaire, 2008, and landed the lead role of Malek, a poor orphan whose journey to win a game show becomes a tale of love, survival, and hope. Dev's natural innocence and raw determination made the character unforgettable. He didn't just play Jamal, he became him, carrying the emotional weight of the story in every scene. The film wasn't just a hit, it became a global phenomenon, winning 8 Academy Awards and capturing hearts across the world. Just months earlier, Dev was navigating normal teenage life, and now he was walking the grand red carpets of Hollywood. His humble beginnings and overnight rise became an inspiring story for young actors everywhere. Critics and audiences alike praised his ability to bring authenticity to a role that demanded both vulnerability and strength. That single performance changed everything for him. It took him from a London schoolboy to an internationally recognized actor. Dev's journey reminds us that sometimes life only gives you one shot, and if you take it with everything you have, it can rewrite your destiny forever. 6. Margot Robbie, The Wolf of Wall Street. Born on July 3, 1990 in Dalby, Australia, Margot Robbie grew up far from the glitz and glamour of Hollywood. With nothing but ambition and determination, she took a leap of faith and moved to Los Angeles to chase her dream. For a while, she auditioned endlessly, facing rejection after rejection. Then in 2013, everything changed. She landed the role of Naomi LaPaglia in The Wolf of Wall Street, alongside Leonardo DiCaprio. From her very first scene, she commanded attention. Her stunning looks, sharp wit, and fearless performance made audiences and critics sit up and take notice. She wasn't intimidated by sharing the screen with one of the greatest actors of his generation. She matched him scene for scene. Overnight, Margot became Hollywood's newest obsession. She proved she wasn't just another pretty face. She had the talent, charisma, and drive to become one of the best. Her performance was bold, unapologetic, and unforgettable. Directors began calling, scripts started pouring in, and she quickly went from a struggling actress to an international star. That single role opened doors she had only dreamed about. In just a few years, she was headlining major films, earning award nominations, and producing her own projects. Margot's journey proves that sometimes one fearless performance can turn a newcomer into a Hollywood powerhouse. Alan Rickman, Die Hard. Born on February 24, 1946 in London, Alan Rickman spent years perfecting his craft as a respected stage actor before Hollywood even knew his name. He had a deep, commanding voice and a presence that could hold any audience in silence. For decades, he worked in theater, never chasing stardom, but instead focusing on his art. Then, at the age of 41, his life changed forever. Cast as Hans Gruber in Die Hard, 1988, Alan made his film debut in the most unforgettable way possible. His calm, intelligent, and dangerously charming performance set a new standard for movie villains. He didn't just play a bad guy, he gave him elegance, wit, and a chilling sophistication. Audiences around the world were mesmerized. Overnight, this stage veteran became one of cinema's most iconic villains. His Hans Gruber was smart, calculated, and terrifyingly human, making him stand out in a sea of one-dimensional movie bad guys. Critics praised his ability to make evil so captivating. That single role launched him into Hollywood fame and led to a career filled with unforgettable characters. From Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves to Harry Potter, he proved he could play anything. Alan Rickman's story reminds us that it's never too late to have your breakthrough moment, and sometimes, your first film role can define your entire legacy. Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman. Born on April 30, 1985, in Petah Tikva, Israel, Gal Gadot grew up with dreams as big as the world she would one day inspire. Before she ever stepped in front of a Hollywood camera, she served in the Israeli Defense Forces, learning discipline, courage, and determination. She also won the title of Miss Israel in 2004, proving she had both beauty and confidence. For years she took on small modeling and acting jobs, slowly building her path in the industry. Her early Hollywood work in Fast and Furious gave her some recognition, but she was still far from a household name. Then came the opportunity that would change her life forever, playing Wonder Woman. In 2017, Gal brought Diana Prince to life with a perfect balance of grace, strength, and compassion. It wasn't just about the action scenes or the battles, it was about the heart of the character. She embodied a hero who fought for justice, truth, and love, inspiring millions around the globe. Audiences didn't just see a superhero, they saw a role model. Young girls everywhere began to believe they could be strong and fearless too. Overnight, Gal went from a talented actress to a global icon. The success of Wonder Woman didn't just make her famous, it cemented her as a symbol of empowerment. Gal Gadot's journey reminds us that greatness often comes when preparation meets opportunity, and that one role can transform an actress into a legend. 9. Emilia Clarke, Game of Thrones. Born on October 23, 1986 in London, Emilia Clarke grew up with a deep love for performing, but had only appeared in small stage plays and in minor TV roles. She was a relatively unknown actress when fate handed her the role that would change her life forever, Daenerys Targaryen in Game of Thrones 2011. At first, Daenerys was a timid and fragile princess, but Emilia slowly transformed her into a fierce, fearless, and commanding queen. Across 8 unforgettable seasons, she brought depth, heart, and humanity to the Mother of Dragons. Viewers were captivated by her journey from vulnerability to unstoppable power. Her performance wasn't just acting, it was a transformation that mirrored Daenerys' rise in the story. Every speech, every tear, and every battle scene felt real because Emilia gave her soul to the role. Overnight, she went from an unknown actress to one of television's most beloved and respected stars. The world fell in love with her strength, beauty, and sincerity. Even after Game of Thrones ended, Emilia Clarke remained forever linked to Daenerys in the hearts of millions. Her journey proves that sometimes, one role doesn't just define a career, it becomes a part of who you are. And for Emilia, she will always be remembered as the true Mother of Dragons. 10. Rami Malek, Bohemian Rhapsody. Born on May 12, 1981 in Los Angeles, Rami Malek had been working in Hollywood for years, often playing supporting characters that went largely unnoticed. He had talent, but the world had yet to truly see it. That all changed in 2018 when he was cast as Freddie Mercury in Bohemian Rhapsody. From the moment he stepped into the role, his transformation was breathtaking. He didn't just play Freddie, he became him. Rami mastered every movement, every expression, every note, and even the emotional essence of the legendary Queen frontman. Audiences were stunned at how real it felt, as if Freddie himself had come back to life. The role demanded not only skill but an immense emotional connection, and Rami delivered with absolute dedication. His performance was electric, filled with passion, vulnerability, and power. It was more than just acting, it was a tribute to a man who had inspired generations. When the film hit theaters, Rami's life changed forever. He went from a talented but relatively unknown actor to a global star almost overnight. The performance earned him the Academy Award for Best Actor, cementing his place in cinema history. His journey is proof that sometimes the perfect role comes at the perfect time, and when it does, it can transform everything you've worked for into a career-defining moment. For Rami Malek, Freddie Mercury was that moment. For these actors, it was one role that changed everything, one chance that turned them from dreamers into legends. Maybe your big break hasn't come yet, but when it does, it could change your life forever. If you enjoyed this journey, don't just watch and leave. Subscribe to our channel for more inspiring Hollywood stories. Comment below which of these performances amazed you the most. And remember, one moment can make you unforgettable.